Yo, what's good, everybody? This is Freddie G, School of Hard Knocks, episode 30, coming to you live on November 9th, 2025, Sunday night. Coming off the games from yesterday. Another week in college football, week 11. We're gonna get into that, and then we're gonna go from there. We're gonna talk a little NBA, a little college basketball, and go from there. First and foremost, let's talk about the Georgia and Mississippi State game. Now, I was afraid that Georgia was gonna come out slow again once Mississippi State had got the lead at first, but Georgia pretty much ended up handling business. Um, they really killed them in the rushing category because they had over 300 yards. They had over 200 yards passing, so like total yardage is like 500. And Gunnar Stockton, he was pretty good yesterday. You know, um, Mississippi State, they actually ended up playing two quarterbacks, but it didn't really, amount to nothing. It was still pretty much the game was pretty much decided by midpoint. So now Georgia actually they play Texas at home. So Texas plays Georgia next week at home. That's gonna be a good game. We're gonna see how Texas adjusts to Georgia. Now Georgia, Texas, last year they played each other twice, and in both games Georgia ended up having the advantage over Texas. Now we're gonna see if Texas has made any changes. Well, of course they made quarterback changes, but have the team adjusted and they gotta have a sore spot from what happened last year, losing to this team twice. Now they get a chance to go to their stadium because it's hard to win at Georgia. I mean, we did it, but it's still hard to win at Georgia. And Texas just not getting back into the SEC. So we gonna see how this game gonna play out. Salute, Brody. We gonna see how this game play out. Um, I think it's gonna be a good quarterback matchup between the two. I think Gunner probably has the more. He could definitely run more better, but no, I'll take that back. No, you right. Actually, Gunner can run the ball better than Arch, in my opinion. But I think Arch is the better player. But yeah, that's gonna be a good matchup. Georgia versus Texas. We're gonna see how that plays out. And pretty much if Texas win that one, all they gotta do is play Texas A&M, which is another good game. Texas got a chance to still make the playoffs, of course. But Georgia, they really they already lost one. They lose another one. They probably still can make the playoffs as well. But you know, because they're number 5 right now. So I think they're straight as far as rankings. But Georgia, one thing I needed to and I can't stress it enough. Georgia does not need to play from behind against this team, against Texas. Because Texas front seven is one of the best defenses in the SEC and one of the best in the college football right now. So you gotta do your best and try to make it close. If not, try to take advantage of it. Take advantage if you score early. But you do not need to fall behind in the halftime. Not to this team. Now Texas, they didn't lost some games this year too, but they seem like they hit a stride lately, and they becoming a dangerous team, and they trying to make the playoffs. So, like I said, they got a chance of doing so. If they just keep them, if they just went out, they got to beat Georgia and they got to beat Texas A&M. That's two of the hardest matchups. They finna go on a little mini gauntlet themselves. So we're gonna see what Texas made of, and then see if Georgia. if Georgia can make any adjustments before halftime and take advantage of the game, because once one thing I gotta give credit to Georgia for. Georgia got a good fight and they can fight. They fight like they got heart. Cause even though they come from behind pretty much most of the time, like 70% of the time, they got a lot of fight. They really fight it out. But they don't the dangerous part about that is they don't need to make it a habit. They don't need to make it a habit, a consistent thing. Cause they'll come back and bite them. But Georgia still got a great team. They're still gonna make the playoffs, so it's just going forward. It's just a concern. If I was a fan, that it probably needed to be addressed. But man, another game that we're gonna talk about that I watched yesterday. Some Big Ten action. Indiana playing Penn State. Now, granted, Penn State fell out the rankings. Like they was number 2 not even 5 weeks ago, pretty much. Now they unranked. Like would have fall from grace. But they fought yesterday. They really fought yesterday. And then to be honest, which is crazy, I went back and looked at the stats. Penn State had more yards and more plays and really like a less than a minute away from time of possession. And they pretty much made Ohio State punt like 4 times. Not Ohio State, Penn State. Penn State made Indiana punt like 4 times, which Indiana, I'm not gonna be not I'm not gonna disown them or not. They're a great team, but see these are the flaws that you see in teams like in November that you didn't see early on in the season. Cause Penn State they kept it real close with Indiana, like 24-27 was the final score. And Penn State had a chance to win that game a couple times. So that game in itself, if Penn State would have got Indiana and Indiana would have slipped up, that they would have still been in the top 10, but it wouldn't have looked pretty for the most part. Not even close. So, you know, Indiana, they stay in their spot. They didn't really move up in they stay at number 2. Ohio State, they handled Purdue. That's not nothing new. Purdue is like who? Mississippi State or Arkansas at the SEC. That's pretty much who they are. So they ain't play nobody yesterday. Ohio State didn't play nobody yesterday, which is like a norm. They don't, but it's a lot of fans, Ohio State fans that claim that they got better competition in the SEC or they better than the SEC. Last time I checked, the last time we faced off, we put belt to ass on a lot of that talk. You know, the last championship matchup, matter of fact. So Ohio State really can't say much to us. Now you can say that to these other little SEC schools, but we still the standard. And then not only that, Ohio State, you still have not beaten your rival in the last five years. So until you beat Michigan, then we could talk. At least Michigan beat us twice. Y'all beat us once, like 10 years ago, but we won more recently. And then not only that, man, I mean, come on now. If if you actually put the competition side by side, I think we will have a better chance. And I hope we meet in the playoffs. I swear, I really hope we meet in the championship. So stop that back to back dreams like we stopped Georgia's 3P dream. That's what we do. We in streaks. We just out here ending all kinds of records. Like we just doing all kinds of stuff in the post Nick Saban era. Think about that. That's what angers a lot of fans too. If we pissing off, we doing a lot of the stuff, and Nick Saban ain't coached the game in 2 years. And Alabama doing all this year. I mean, like last year, granted, we had a down year. We lost to Vanderbilt. We lost to Oklahoma, which I'll get into here soon, and we lost to Tennessee. But compared to the other competition like Ohio State don't play nobody. They don't play nobody till Michigan come in. That's that game right there. So if we do in comparison, we gonna see how fraudulent Ohio State are. That's a definite thing. And then speaking of speaking of everything else going on with college football, I gotta address this with the coaches. Um, Surprisingly, didn't coach get fired? Coach didn't get fired today, which is a surprise because like lately every week a coach has been getting fired. But between that sorry ass Mike Norvell and the pitiful Dabo Swinney, it was one of the craziest things to me because it's two coaches I dislike to a high standard. I don't like neither coach or neither team. But the fact that both of these teams played each other yesterday, like man, I could care less who win, who lose. I'm just gonna trash both of them post game. I seen something that almost made me sick to my stomach. Like the fact that Clemson, this is so pitiful. They stormed the field on Florida State, like on a 5-loss team. Like this storming the field mess, man. It's going somewhere. Like now you storming the field on a team that lost 5 games. That's been sorry since week 3. You storming the field on them. You Clemson. That's crazy. That is crazy. You storming the field on a 5-loss team. So I think this game, really, to be honest with you, was the fight for which coach. The loser's gonna get fired. It was like a WWE match. Like whoever wins the match, they keep their job. Whoever lose, they get fired. That's what that was. So congrats to well, I don't even want to say congrats, but Dabo Swinney lived to fight another day. And as far as Mike Norvell, he ain't looking too good for you, buddy. You talked a lot of gas early in the season. Then by mid-time in the season, like reality hit, you know, then you start losing all these games. Then now you trying to be humble. You trying to be humble. But your time is coming to an end, bro. You won one ACC game in the last year, in a year and a half. Like it's if I was Florida State, I'll go ahead and do the buyout and just say forget it, Just forget it. Our state doesn't run about all they do. Yeah, they don't have no run game. Like at all. They gonna get exposed by that like here soon. I don't see why teams don't expose that now. Like they had a couple close calls, like close games, but they fraudulent. They definitely fraudulent. I wouldn't even put it past them. Yeah, I got Michigan beating Ohio State again this year. And it will further put Ryan Day on the hot seat, even though a lot of fans gonna come in and say that, well, he just won a championship, yada yada yada. Michigan got a championship like the year before y'all did too. So, and the fact that they beat y'all, they won a championship in the midst of whooping y'all, putting belt to ass on y'all for the last 5 years. And this is without my man, you know. So look, I ain't gonna lie to you though. This the crazy part about this Ohio State thing. Like I said, the fact that you at some point you gotta like say enough is enough. But I mean, you staying at number one all because of fraudulent schedule. A fraudulent schedule that don't work. But yeah, another game that gonna go into that I seen yesterday that was kind of crazy. It went down to the wire pretty much. This is when I ain't watch it because I was watching the Alabama game, but the Auburn and Vanderbilt game, that game was crazy. Gotta get credited to Vanderbilt, man. They got fight. They got a lot of fight in them. I told y'all this ain't like this ain't no Rudy Poo Vanderbilt team. You know, these dudes was down most of the game, and then they came back. Like they did, they almost came back on Texas last week, but they came back and beat Auburn at Jordan Hare. I think it was at Jordan Hare, but you know that's crazy. That they got a lot of fight in them. Dude might get a trip to New York though. I ain't gonna lie to you, Diego. He might be top three Heisman when it's over. I ain't too sure if I want to say the top three, but based off the performance from yesterday, I don't know. I'm hoping Ty. We gonna get in that in just a minute, but Ty and Julian, those are probably my top three. Runner up, fourth one would probably be like Lenore's. But yeah, man, Diego, even though he a cocky player, dude. He got a lot of fight in him. So gotta get credit to that. He's a tremendous player. Even though he's like probably damn near older than the whole roster. But yeah, man, gotta get credit to that. I gotta cut these others out. But another game that I gotta say that I like to put more emphasis on, and we gotta evaluate it more because watching how Oklahoma played Tennessee last week and watching how we played last night is concerning as a fan because Oklahoma last week they put belt the ass on Tennessee in the famous blackout game. Because even though dude was I think like I was thinking the whole last 2 or 3 weeks, like Oklahoma's quarterback, like he's injured, he's still injured, he need time, you know. Um, Last week he was a dual threat quarterback, and Oklahoma's defense was like unstoppable last week. They're one of the best in the nation. So I gotta put more concern on it for sure because Alabama we cannot afford We cannot afford. This is really the game to determine if we go to the SEC championship because we could beat Oklahoma, and I don't want to even think about the other team that should not be named. If we do slip up, we'll be straight because we already have won. Like we'll beat pretty much everybody we gonna play in the SEC except for the one team, and you know it's the two best teams in the SEC. So we got the tiebreaker over Georgia, the tiebreaker over Vanderbilt. We will have a tiebreaker over a lot of those teams. So um, I just hope we come out and play. Play. I hope we come out and play like we did when we played Tennessee or when we played Georgia. You know, we control the game. If we could get a chance to, because the offense it seemed like it's regressing and the defense seemed like it's progressing. So, cause the defense, you gotta get credit to the defense, man. Kane Womack, I know gave a lot of shit to him, but like Kane Womack, he's actually done this thing since Vanderbilt. He has done this thing. Gotta get total credit to him in the defense. Cause the defense was looking they was looking so nasty last night. It was one possession where it was like one drive, it was like on defense, it was 3 straight plays of just nasty defense. Like like man, that's what we fight for, man. That's championship DNA. Defense won us the game last night. Like defense definitely won us the game last night. And offense, like I'm not sure what it is. We don't have a run game, which is concerning. We don't have a run game. And Ty, and I seen this, somebody commented on this, and I gotta agree. Ty can't throw the deep ball, but he's elite at the mid ball. Miro can't throw the mid ball, but he's elite. He was elite at the deep ball. So like, man, it's one of them things. It's confusing. So hopefully, as we take this week of practice, we gotta go over offensive schemes. We gotta get better at running the ball, and we just gotta play better on offense. Because if we could like how we played last night on defense, and how the offense was playing when we played at a top game on offense, can't nobody stop us. Because we would reach our elite level, peak level at that point. And that's what we got to do. We got to get to that point. And I think we can get there if we just gotta take it slow, be consistent. We gotta be consistent. We can't slip up. Cause I think at our best, can nobody beat us. Can nobody beat us. So going forward, I just think we just gotta work more on running the ball, deep ball, and this progression. Cause like I said, we got one of the deepest wide receiver rooms. Ty is an elite, playing at elite level. We just gotta take advantage of that. That's all we gotta do. Cause like Texas showed you that Oklahoma can be beat. You know, so we just gotta, and then they trying to fight for their playoff chances too. So we just gotta do our thing. We cannot slip up at all in these next 2 games. We gotta fight. We gotta win the next 6 games in order to win a championship. And I think we could do it. I think we got the fight, and we got the heart definitely to do it. So next week, the matchup, Oklahoma versus Alabama at Bryant Denny Saban Field Stadium. So also next week, like I said earlier, it's gonna be Georgia versus Texas at Georgia. So 2 heavyweight matchups on SEC Saturday. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. There's gonna be a lot of shakeup in the playoffs for sure. And not only that, we are almost here for one of my favorite weekends in college football, the rivalry week. Now, like last year, rivalry week was so epic because every game was a fight. Every game a flag was planted. Like it was just crazy. Like it was just crazy. Everything was going wild, man. I think it was one of my favorite rivalry weeks. Period. Can none top it. It was one of the best. Like my personal favorite was the Ohio State and Michigan because it was an extra brawl broke out of that one. But I mean, it was a brawl and all of them though. But that's what I like to see, man. You don't want to see the sport be all friendly, everybody hug, everybody trying to love on each other and all that. We want to see rivalries, man. Ain't nothing like a rivalry game. Cause there's a lot of history behind it. There's a lot of stuff at stake. Like, man, it's just one of the best weekends of college football. Rivalry week. You basically play a team that you hate to the core, determine who gonna have bragging rights for the next year. That's all that is. That's all that is. So, but yeah, man, next week gonna be a good week in college football. Week 12. Week 12, we almost at the end, but it's been a good college football season though. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a good college football season. I mean, I hate to say that because a lot of coaches got fired, but shit, hey, it is what it is. Going to NCAA, got to get credit to my basketball team, my one of my favorite basketball teams, which is the favorite, Duke Blue Devils. The Boozer Twins is out here doing their thing, bro. We gotta put their name out there, cause they out here just like and I got